Yeah.
Where on the scale do you think we are as far as women in sports? And I'm gonna make this more specific, women in baseball. I feel like we have it more difficult because of the sport that we cover. I would say like on a scale of 1 to 3, where are we as far as embracing women and covering this game?
3 is most embraceful.
Yeah.
I'd say we're at a 2.
Okay.
I think, maybe that's the lame answer. I definitely don't think we're at a 1. I think we've come a long way. We have a lot farther to go. We need more women and female voices, I would say, in higher positions,
Mhm.
right? We need more women on the radio. We need more women in broadcast booths. We need more women who are covering the game as beat reporters. It's a
Yeah.
really hard job. You know everything about it. I know nothing about
Yeah.
being a beat reporter. I just watch you guys in awe and bow down because I could not do that for 162. I truly
Yeah.
could not do it. I'm not made for it, and I know that, but I think that we need more women who want to do those jobs, who are encouraged, who know about the job. I think that's important, knowledge, right? And exposure to the job. I think we've got some ways to go in that regard. And I think what's tough, like, people aren't as used to hearing female voices in
Mhm.
those high places. And they're gonna have to get used to it eventually. They'll get
Yeah.
there, like everyone else will get there, but I think that the more they hear us, the louder we roar, right? And that we're here and we're not going anywhere and we've planted our roots, that we'll get to the 3. I know we'll get to the 3, 100%. It's never gonna be perfect. It's probably gonna be
Yeah.
2.99999, right? Like, it's
Right.
never gonna be right there, but I don't care about that. We did that women's equality piece for SNY last month, I think it was 2 months ago. And I like the point I like love to hammer home is that people think that we want more or
Yeah.
extra or anything of that sort, anything that is an adjective to more than above. We just want the exact same. We want to
Right.
exist in the space and get paid what we deserve, get paid the same as our counterparts, and get treated the same and get the same opportunities. We're not asking for more. We're here. Like, we're not going anywhere. I'm not going to go do another job because, Johnny Joe in his basement who's picking his nose doesn't like to hear a woman. I'm not
Yeah.
going anywhere, but I would like equality. I would like that to be equal. And I think we're still pushing for that in certain spaces, but I know we're going to get there. And it's because, we had people before us, we have us. I know we're doing our damnedest and we're doing our part and we're paying it forward. And that's going to lead to the 2.999.
And it's interesting you brought that up because it sounds so simple as like treat us equally as far as the opportunities. I feel like there's been situations I've been in where they don't want, and in their defense, they don't want it to be too showy, like, oh, we're hiring her because she's a woman. Because I don't
Mhm.
believe that I'm at that point in my career where I can say they can confidently say that. So they do too less to where it's like, okay, well, we'll just like let her be. I'm like, well, it's still the first freaking woman to do this. Like maybe do something. So that's interesting, like that they can't show about that, but that's a whole thing. Why are we no longer at a 1 on that scale?
Well, we have more women who are in positions of power and who are then able to hire other women, right? If there's nobody in the job who looks different, sounds different, comes from a different background, we're never going to make any changes, right? That's why diversity is of the utmost importance. If you don't have, it's not just a baseball thing, right? It's like a life thing. If you don't have different voices and a variety of people
Mhm.
who, like, I work in a space, in the amateur space, where I was just sitting with Charles Johnson, right? I think 3-time Gold Glove winner, World Series winner with the Marlins, catcher. And we were talking about black catchers in the game. And
Mhm.
this is a much larger conversation, but
Yeah.
there is a lack of African American catchers in the game. And you could go into great detail about that. And Charles was so proud to represent something that younger kids could see and could know. A black kid can grow up and be a catcher and have that position and not be moved from that position, because that's what happens.
Yeah.
And so I think that along the same lines of women We're in higher positions. Our voices are in different places. We have advocates who don't care that we're a woman doing the job. We're good at our job. We just happen to be a woman. And so it helps because we are able to diversify the voices and what it looks like. You look at Kim Ang, right? The first female general manager to take her team to the postseason, right? And so now you have kids and her background who say, wait, Kim looks like me. I can do that job. As somebody who looks like me can do that job. That's what we have to have more of. There has to be more of that, and there have to be more people above us who want to hire women, who invest in women, who think that our presence is important and our voice is important, and that it's important to make sure that when someone's watching you, they look at you and say, that person looks like me. I can do that job. I think that's the key. That's why we're not at a 1 anymore. And man, we're freaking pushing that door down. I think it's great. We're not there, but that's okay. And it takes time. When you are a force to be reckoned with, it takes time.
I think we're no longer at a place where we can say she's good for a girl. She's just good. And that I feel is huge for me personally. I hated saying, oh, she's not bad for a girl. Like I could just be like, just not bad, or she's good. Period.
She's good. She can do the job.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like how crazy is that? I mean, yeah, I feel like we're probably a little behind in that sentiment. And I wish we'd been saying that a few years ago, maybe a decade ago. But yeah, we are getting to that point. That's freaking awesome that we can say things like that now. And you watch, Lauren Shahadi is my favorite example of watching her on the sidelines in the postseason. And like I go to school, I text her and I'm like, I'm going to the school of Shahadi right now, taking notes on how she does things. And there's nobody better. Mm-hmm. No person better than her on the sidelines in baseball in the postseason. That's a fact. Nobody better than her. And it doesn't matter that she's a woman. She is the best at her job.